What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Super Afim. Super Afim? Super Afim. I don't know. It's a capital A, so I feel like I need to put some emphasis into it. Super Afim. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Miracle. The map is Tundra, and this is a best of 5 for the qualifiers. Best round of 32. The qualifiers of the Champions League tournament here. So win this one, you go into the round of 16. Win that one, you get into Champions League. Exciting times ahead here. An Oranos versus Isis clash. This is a matchup from the olden times. Seen this one quite a bit. I really quite like this matchup because there is a very tried and true build from Isis that the Oranos. Well, let me try and unpack something first. So first thing I want to say is, before we get into the build, is that every god has got to have like it's kind of like the Oranos bar is almost what you need to. I'm really struggling to put this thought into words because I've only recently had it, and it's like, okay, if you put A, you carry the 1, 29, 53, okay, then this happens. So there is this concept called the Oranos bar. If your god cannot get over the Oranos bar, you can't play this god in tournament. Why? Because anyone can randomly pick Oranos and take that god out. So that god is going to be a difficult one to pick in those situations, in the tournament situations. So what is how do you get above the Oranos bar? Well, if you play a god like Hades, for example, great. Your god is actually already strong enough to just simply beat Oranos by playing well. But if you play a different god, say you play Zeus, for example. Now, Zeus, your Oranos bar is your ability to play the centaur strategy, the centaur, like Hoplite Hippocon strategy to win the game. If you play as, say, Norse, as Odin, you need to be able to play the Ulfsark opener, the Lone Wanderer opener. It's like a one civilization for one god. You have to know this extra strategy. Very important. For Isis, the strategy for a long time has been very, very obvious, very, very simple. It's been Priest Siege. So it's actually, in this matchup, the actual matter that you have to think about is it's not actually the Oranos bar here. Oranos needs to have an answer for Isis to be able to play Oranos in a tournament. Because Isis's Priest Siege has been so tried and true, such a difficult strategy to beat for so long, and you just have to be able to beat it. You have to know how to beat it, know what the timings are, know how to survive the initial push, and then find a win. So we'll see if Miracle's going to be able to do it, and we'll see if Super FM is actually going to be going for that sort of a strategy himself here in this game. Now, it's Tundra. He's left some resources in his main base. He's got a handful of Aurochs over here that he can drag into his main base over here as well. And he's got goats. And a back gold mine to boot. So this is the best situation to do any sort of one-town center fast heroic you could think of playing as Isis. So we'll see how things are going to manifest in this game as Prometheus is on the way and Bast is on its way at the 5-minute mark. Now, we have been kind of stumbling over our words. I wanted to do some introductions for these players in a little bit more depth. If you haven't seen Super FM before, he's actually a relatively old player. He has not been playing a lot of Titans. He is a vanilla top player, having won some of the higher level vanilla tournaments through, I think it was like roughly 2017 to 2019-ish era. Maybe I'm missing the dates up a little bit, but an incredibly strong Isis player. He actually took me out of a couple of tournaments way back when. Very, very tough player to beat. Miracle, on the other hand, he is a team game player from all accounts. A very, very strong team game player. Played with JSS in the Pandora's box tournament, not Pandora's box, Phoenix Reborn, Phoenix Rising. can't remember. In that tournament there, as well as RTSL, and has had a lot of success and been a very, very large contributing member to the success of JSS through their tournament runs. So we'll see how things are all going to shape up here as, yep, no surprises here. Right onto this granary. Sphinx, going to go for some raids here, looking for something to take out. You definitely don't want to lose the Sphinx here. This is something that happens quite a lot to ISIS players. You just don't want it to happen. We do see Miracle is going to be losing his oracles here. It's not the biggest of deals. Valor does look like it comes down in the main base of Miracle, but it looked like he's got himself 2 Murmillo and 1 Terma there as those oracles going to be getting pushed back. Walls coming up as well for Super FM. So obviously no second town center here. Just going to be hanging out, going for the fast, heroic, and all of the good stuff as the armory will be coming down. More oracles are going to be getting sniped down there as Miracle slides in with his units, checking out everything. Trying to take out those obelisks. Obelisks are a very, very important part of ISIS's kind of success in games. If you can actually clean up their their obelisks, you really shut down a lot of what makes ISIS, or what made ISIS strong. And this is something that I think a lot of players worked out fairly early on against ISIS. If you can shut down the line of sight, then or these kind of map hacky buildings here, you really, really slow them down. As you see, barracks coming up as well for Super FM. This is an interesting decision here. No, if he is going for ISIS, Ancestors Eclipse ISIS Priest Siege timing attack, making a barracks doesn't make a whole lot of sense, apart from the fact that it is a prediction that Kontarius are going to be coming out, and having Spearmen as well as Priest. It's not a bad idea, or at least having the option to build the Spearman is not a bad idea, but I don't think he needs to build this barracks quite this early, but we'll have to wait and see. Does he have himself pickaxe yet? He does have pickaxe. He will have the resources, it seems, to get himself a shaft mine upgrade. On the other side of the map here, Miracle is just, he's got his own armory up now. It looks like he's going to be attempting to get to the next age here as well, as his units are just sitting in the back here, searching around. Now, this strategy here that Miracle is doing, this is kind of like a semi-fast heroic to kind of counter the ISIS Ancestors Eclipse pre-siege. You make yourself Kontarius, all the good stuff to beat it, because Kontarius hard counter priest, as opposed to Murmillo, which the priest can beat, Terma the priest can beat, Arcus the priest can also beat. So there's not really a good unit for there in the classical age for Miracle to build. However, there is a follow-up here. If Super FM can kind of play around this, if he can work this one out, there is a follow-up to this that really, really makes it tough for the Uranos who does this semi-fast heroic and makes Kontarius. And that's going to the Mythic Age. Going to the Mythic Age through Osiris, with the idea of making Mummy out of the favor you've got, and as well as the Son of Osiris. And there is no way after that the Uranos player is going to have an easy game. So you can kind of just do this bait and switch shenanigans from the ISIS perspective, like baiting out something like. But this is definitely not looking like a ISIS Priest Siege that I've ever seen. Instead, looking like he's going for Axeman Slingers. And we'll see how things are going to go here, because this is very new. I haven't seen this before, and I don't think Miracle will have seen this either, because he's now going up through Thea, and he's going to have a lot on his plate moving through now. Kontarius still do counter Axeman Spearmen very, very hard. They beat that army composition quite handily. They beat that army composition quite handily. So we'll have to wait and see how things are going to go. Plow coming through here for Miracle as he's going to be attempting to move into some farms. It's really important against ISIS to not place your farms near a town center. You put them in like random locations with a house next to it, and you live the dream. As the army now going to be moving out, and we see Super FM, he's just taking this game really slowly. He doesn't care. This is some old school ISIS. This is like some prehistoric ISIS versus Uranos strategy here. I feel like this is what people were doing before the pre-siege strategy was kind of found. As we see Migdol Stronghold down, Siege works, and this wouldn't work normally. If Miracle reads that Axeman Slinger are coming, he can just go full send in the classical age, and he's actually completely fine, because he can take these fights and get a gold staff here. or at least force a defensive Ancestors Eclipse. But in this situation, Super FM can just walk out of his base, get his Migdol Stronghold, and Miracle is right on the back foot. So this is an absolute game of chicken, of cat and mouse. Chicken and the I don't know where chicken came from. Chicken and the egg. What came first? I don't know. But this is wild. We'll see how it's going to go. We do see Miracle is committed to his strategy. He's getting himself the Contarius out. He's getting himself heavy cavalry as well. The Contarius is chasing the Scorpion Man away. This Scorpion Man will be getting picked off. I imagine Ancestors Eclipse is wanting to be clicked right away, as we do see a Shockwave coming onto this position, getting a little bit of damage. So as the Contarius running through, Elephant does come out for Super FM. We'll see how things are going to go over here as that Scorpion Man will end up falling. Farms getting placed down in the main base over there as the unit's going to be piling in onto this location there as the Priest going to be able to take out that Stimfalion Bird, but good marker there from Miracle. He needs to not overcommit too much with these Contarius, but as the game is continuing now, we're starting to see Spearmen. Spearmen are a big counter to the Contarius, but heavy Contarius against unupgraded Spearman. He's not going to be too unhappy about those sorts of fights as the Stimfalion Bird comes back into the fight. We do see that Super FM's also got that Hands of the Pharaoh upgrade, 21 range there, I believe. 19 range would be if he didn't have Hands of the Pharaoh, as the units are piling in here, and Miracle just does not have the production he normally would have here to be able to take this kind of a fight. He's sitting underneath Migdol Stronghold Fire. He's gotten all of these ranged units that are doing a lot of damage, and Miracle, while he's put the pressure on, he's done damage here. I think that Super FM, even though he's going to be a little bit scared about the score differential, he should be happy about the position he's in. He's got a second gold mine. His opponent's on one town center. He knows his opponent's invested into heavy cavalry, which is a big resource investment, which means he can kind of invest in going into spearmen here pretty easily. He can happily get himself medium spearmen or whatever else, or even just go into like mass Migdol units with war elephants, everything else. And right now he's just like, he has been allowed here to literally walk across the map unimpeded. We'll see if he sees this gold mining operation going on over there, and he does see that, but his eyes are set on taking out this town center as Miracle is at 85 and 115 population. There's the Ancestors Eclipse being clicked down there as the Miracle units have to retreat back. The big question is going to be, is there enough stuff here that Super FM can actually like kill off Miracle's base or not, as the Contarius are just going to be able to sit in this kind of reinforcement area and kind of shank down siege towers. And where's Miracle's villages? Normally speaking here, when the siege tower rolls in, the villagers, they simply just shank down the siege tower before it even gets any shots off, but not able to make that work there as the town center is about to get torn down over here. We are seeing the Contarius coming through doing something, but they are all getting cleaned up here as Miracle, no town center, 61 population, Super FM 93 population in this one, as Miracle has been kind of caught out of position completely here as the market going up, and Miracle decides in that position to tap out there as Super FM, he just kind of lets Miracle bounce off him here as Miracle could not work out the right way to make a continuation in this game. It's a different strategy, making Axeman Slingers here first and foremost is not 100% not what Miracle expected here. Miracle was expecting to see Priest, but he didn't confirm the Priest were being made here. That's the big thing. He didn't confirm it. He didn't see the second temple. He didn't see Spirit of Mart get researched, which is the big Priest upgrade. And as soon as he saw the army being created, the classical army here, he doesn't have to worry about anything because he can just come in, snipe the important units once he's at full population, full Contarius. He can snipe those units as they walk across the map in the middle of this map here. But instead, he tried to take this fight underneath this gold mine here, attempting to push Super FM out of this game from the get-go. And he just could not make that work there. As, I mean, Isis, Ancestor Eclipse, timing push is always going to be a threat that you have to be able to overcome. And Miracle just was not prepared in this game to make that one work. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're in the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.